Xianxia's expression changed, secretly startled, but it was not because of the price of drunken moon wine. Drunken moon wine had a great reputation. Naturally, Xianxia had heard of the expensive price. He was surprised that Xianxia actually has such a big tone and confidence. He clearly did not put the people outside in the eyes. Xianxia gritted his teeth, sullen his heart sat down, and snorted, "Okay, then old man, we'll see if you looking for a dead end or not. If it's the former, don't blame the old man for smearing the soles of his feet." Xianxia and Howard looked at each other, nodded and smiled. It should be so. Speaking like this, he filled Xianxia with a cup of wine. The three of them had different minds, and they ate the spirit fruit while tasting the wine. They didn't have the awareness of the adversaries that is coming. In Cave Mansion, after Wu Yi arranged the many disciples, they came to a secret room with Qianyu and took out a gold and silver flashing array from the space ring, and threw it forward. With a solemn expression, "Sister Qianyu, this is the total control formation for all the formations of Dragon Cave Mountain. I am afraid that I am not strong enough. I will ask my sister to help me later." "Okay." Qianyu nodded heavily. Wu Yi reached out and urged out a few Saint Qi and poured it into the array. In an instant, the two colors of gold and silver changed alternately. The speed was extremely fast, only the ring of light of the colored glass that printed the entire secret room. Wu Yi's expression was solemn, and she suddenly yelled, "Open!" There was a whining sound in the array, and immediately the two colors of gold and silver that were intertwined with each other as if they were given life, withdrew to the left and right. In the blink of an eye, the two colors split and became distinct. At the same time, outside the Dragon Cave Mountain Protective Formation, more than 30 Void Return Stage led by Xia Li were violently attacking the large array. After everyone took out their artifact and unique skills, the seemingly solid formation array was crumbling. The light barrier flashed wildly, and the color was undoubtedly much dim compared to the previous one. "Everyone, work harder. This shit formation will not last long." Xia Li's eyes flashed cruelly. Shouted loudly. While shouting, he made the array-breaking white rainbow dagger shuttle back and forth through the array light barrier. Without his reminder, all the Void Return stage that participated in the attack were also increased their attack, inferring from the strength of the attack by himself and others. With this, it won't take half a day for this formation that blocked their pace to be broken. All the cultivators were excited for a while, pouring madly their Saint Qi into their artifact. The colorful light shines, and the rumbling sound is endless. Just then, accompanied by a strange buzzing sound, the light barrier of the Dragon Cave Mountain guarding formation suddenly faded at an extremely fast speed, and then disappeared. The attacks of more than 30 Void Return Stage experts hit the empty space all at once, blasting the earth, leaving a ravine like cracks. "Broken?" said the old man surnamed Du, who was riding a blue-eyed blood toad, raised his brows and showed an unexpected look. Just now he clearly felt that the opponent's formation could still support for a while, but he didn't expect it to disappear immediately. This surprised him, wondering if something happened. It doesn't seem to be. They took the initiative to withdraw the formation. The middle-aged man from Demon Blood Temple squinted his eyes to the inside of Dragon Cave Mountain, with a vigilant expression on his face. It seems that they also know that there is no good end to the endure, so they will withdraw the formation, thinking that they can escape. Someone shouted. This statement naturally does not get everyone's approval, but since the opponent withdrew the big formation, it must have been arranged. Now the fog in the Dragon Cave Mountain is rolling, the divine consciousness is greatly restricted from entering it, and the naked eye can't see the situation inside. No one dared to act rashly, and was stunned for a while, staring at each other. A group of people who are as timid as a mouse. Xia Li secretly gritted his teeth, and was about to encourage others to enter it, but suddenly saw the clouds and mist covering Dragon Cave Mountain rolling and twisting. After a short while, the tumbling clouds dispersed to the sides, revealing the scenery inside Dragon Cave Mountain. Today, Dragon Cave Mountain, surrounded by mountains and rivers, is considered to be a beautiful place, and the interior is full of spiritual energy, which is no longer the scene of the barren mountains. What shocked everyone was that not many people came to meet the enemy in this mountain, and there were no people in the surrounding area. There were only 3 old men in the Void Return stage realm gathered around a table, drinking and having fun. This rampant scene caught everyone's eyes, making everyone's expression gloomy. They are completely not putting them in the eyes. Otherwise, how can they still have leisure and cozy drinking here? HMPH, let's see you keep playing mysterious when you die. Xianxia snorted coldly. Spiritual Mind kept exploring the Dragon Cave Mountain. Although there was nothing wrong with it, he still felt a sense of inexplicable heart palpitations, as if as soon as he stepped in this small hill, it would be like stepping into a ghost gate. This feeling made him extremely uncomfortable. He turned his head and looked at the others and found that everyone was also like him and with a solemn expression. But now this situation can be regarded as an arrow on the string, and it have to be sent out. Although Xianxia did not investigate carefully, he also knows that there are many pairs of eyes staring here now. If he and others were to retreat, then he won't be able to get any chance again in the future and won't have the face to see other people. At this point, Xianxia's expression became firm, and he said loudly, "Everyone, the big formation is broken, what are you waiting for?" As he spoke, he waved his hand, and there were more than 20 Saint Kings of the Xianxia family who left with a team and rushed towards Dragon Cave Mountain. Although these 20 Saint Kings are not necessarily the opponents of the 3 Void Return stage expert, it is best to use them to test the depth of Dragon Cave Mountain. Xianxia has this plan in his heart, so when the 20 people flew out, he stared at them without moving. The Xianxia family took the lead. The people of Demon Blood Sect and 10,000 Beast Mountain were naturally unwilling to show weakness. Lu Yi, who was hiding in the crowd, also quietly issued an instruction. In an instant, there were more than 60 Saint Kings. The troops were divided several ways, closing into the positions of Xianxia and the others. Perceiving the number of enemies coming, Xianxia shook his hand and almost dropped the wine on the ground. Although he was a Void Return stage, he was not confident that he could face so many Siege of the Saint King. Xianxia looked at him, and said with a smile, "Brother Ning, don't worry, it's not time for us to take a shot yet." "Yes, Brother Ning can put your trust on us." Howen also echoed, without even looking at the Saint Kings. Xianxia didn't have such a good concentration. Seeing some enemies approaching here, his Saint Yuan was secretly agitated, as if he was ready to take action at any time. But the next moment, these imposing Saint King realm, all exclaimed, their faces were horrified and dazed, their bodies swayed, accompanied by exclaims and shouts, one by one falling from mid-air, and the scene was extremely lively for a while. Flying restriction formation? Xianxia's eyes were almost protruding, never expected that there would be such a thing as flying restriction formation in this small Dragon Cave Mountain. This kind of formation is extremely high and deep, and only some big cities and the main altar of the sect will be arranged with it. Once covered by this formation, the cultivator will not able to fly into the air. Of course, whether the power of this formation is strong or weak, it depends on the means of the people who set up the formation. Xianxia tried a little bit to mobilize his own Saint Yuan, and wanted to fly into the air, but to his horror, he only flew up 1 foot high, and he felt a huge pressure in the air pushing him down, and he could no longer move. The flying restriction formation here can at least constrain the cultivators of second-order Void Return stage. Even if the third-order Void Return stage comes here, they would not be able to fly too high. Who is this formation expert? It is so amazing. Just as he was thinking about it, the dozens of Saint King stages had already fallen like raindrops falling heavily to the ground, splashing dust. Fortunately, they are not flying high, and the physical fitness of the Saint King realm martial artist is also extraordinary. Therefore, even if they fell into embarrassment, no one was worried about their lives. They all climbed up from the spot with a sad face, their faces covered with color of resentment. It was so embarrassing, they naturally hated Dragon Cave Mountain to their bones. But without waiting for them to come back to their senses, the abnormal changes emerged. Suddenly, there were energy fluctuations in the surroundings. These energy fluctuations were extremely hidden and seemed inconspicuous, but then a tornado suddenly formed in a certain place. When it first appeared, it was not too strong, but in the blink of an eye, the tornado became extremely sturdy, and countless wind blades shuttled and swam in it, and directly rolled up a Saint King realm cultivator nearby. The scream sounded, and there was a flesh-cutting sound in everyone's ears, which made people horrified, and the tornado was also dyed red in an instant, and it was vaguely visible that the broken limbs and pieces of meat were floating in the wind. In the other place, a few ice cones with the thickness of thighs appeared strangely in the air. Under the slight tremor, they shot forward like an arrow from the string, passing through the chests of the two martial artists, bringing up a bloody fog. In another place, a large fireball came and scattered. Once hit by this fireball, the Saint King realm cultivator would immediately be burned to death, and a few unfortunate guys who had no time to escape suffered miserably under it. More cultivators disappeared in the sight of everyone inexplicably, as if they had never appeared before, but from where they disappeared, there was a heart-piercing scream. The smell of blood rose to the sky, and the first batch of more than 80 Saint Kings who rushed into Dragon Cave Mountain couldn't even go deep into it. They just stepped into the range of Dragon Cave Mountain and suffered heavy losses. After what seems to be a long time, only a small half of the more than 80 Saint Kings are still alive, and this small half at this moment is like a headless fly, rushing around in Dragon Cave Mountain. Can't find the way back. This scene was printed in the eyes of the cultivators outside, making them feeling creepy and chilling in their hearts. Although it looks ridiculous, everyone knows that those people must be caught in the illusion formation. What they see in their eyes is completely different from what they see, so even if it is only a few steps away, it is still between life and death. To be continued.